Easy Wealth Podcast, where learning about money feels easy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Easy Wealth Podcast, where we talk about money, wealth, and growing every single day. I'm Amber, and with me as always is Neil. Neil, how you doing?
Honestly, really good. And look, today's topic hits close to home for me. Like, personally close.
That's right. Today we're talking about saving. Not just why you should save, because let's be honest, everyone already knows they should, but how to actually make it work in real life.
Because knowing and doing are two very different things, right? I mean, I work hard, I earn money, and every month I tell myself, okay, this month I'll save something. And then the month ends and I look at my account and think, where did it all go?
I think almost everyone listening right now has felt that exact feeling. And you know what? It's not because you're bad with money. It's because of how most people think about saving.
What do you mean?
Let me ask you something simple. When you get paid, what do you actually do with the money?
Well, I pay my rent, my bills, buy groceries, maybe treat myself a little. And then whatever is left, I try to put aside.
And how much is usually left?
Honestly, not much. Sometimes nothing.
Exactly. And that is the root of the problem. Most people treat saving like it's the last step. Pay everything first, then save what remains. But that approach almost never works, because life always finds a way to fill up every dollar you have.
So, what's the alternative?
Flip the order. Instead of saving what's left after spending, you spend what's left after saving. The moment your paycheck comes in, the first thing you do is move a portion into savings. Before bills, before groceries, before anything.
Okay, I've heard this before. Pay yourself first. But it sounds great in theory and really hard in practice.
It feels hard, especially at the beginning. But here's the thing. It only feels hard because it's unfamiliar. Once you build the habit, it becomes automatic. You stop feeling like you're missing the money because your brain adjusts to a new normal.
So, it's really about rewiring how you think about income.
Completely. Because here's what happens when you don't make that shift. You keep working. You keep earning. Months pass. You keep telling yourself, I'll start saving when things settle down, when I get a raise, when I have fewer expenses. But that moment never really comes, does it?
No. There's always something. A car repair, a birthday, an unexpected bill.
Right. Life doesn't pause for you to save. So if you wait for the perfect moment to start, you'll be waiting forever. And one day you wake up and realize, years have gone by and your savings account is basically empty. And that's when real financial stress starts to hit.
That's a scary thought. I've definitely felt hints of that pressure before.
Most people have. And the solution isn't complicated, but it does require a shift in behavior. So let's talk about how to actually do it. Step 1. Start saving first, even if the amount is tiny.
How small is too small, though? Like, is it worth saving $20?
Absolutely. Because here's the truth. The amount is almost irrelevant at the beginning. What you're building is the habit. Think of it like going to the gym. If you've never worked out, you don't start by lifting the heaviest weight. You start light and you show up consistently. That consistency is what produces results over time.
So, saving $50 a month is still valuable.
Very much so. If 50 feels manageable, start there. If even that feels tight, start with 25. The goal right now is not to save a huge amount. It's to prove to yourself that you can save. And once that habit is locked in, you gradually increase the amount.
That makes it feel way less intimidating.
Exactly. People often don't start because they think they need to save big to make a difference. But small, consistent actions compound over time. A habit of saving $25 a week turns into over $1,000 in a year, without feeling painful.
Okay, so we've got the mindset part down. What about the practical side? Because I've tried saving before, and I always end up dipping into it.
Yes, And I know exactly why. You're keeping the savings in the same account as your spending money. So when an impulse hits, a sale, a night out, it's just sitting right there.
That is exactly what happens.
So here's the system. 3 separate accounts. Each one has one job, and you don't mix them.
3 accounts. Okay, walk me through it.
First, your daily spending account. Bills, groceries, everyday expenses. That's it.
Got it. That's basically what I've been using for everything.
Which is the problem, yeah. Second, your savings account. The moment you get paid, before you do anything else, a fixed amount goes here. A good starting point is about 1/6 of your income, so roughly 16–17%.
Why 1/6?
It's a balance. Enough to build something real over time, but not so much that it stresses you out day to day. And the goal is to keep building this until you have about 6 months of living expenses saved.
6 months. So if something goes wrong, you've got a cushion.
Losing a job, a medical bill, a big repair, none of that has to become a crisis. That's what the cushion is for.
That's huge. Because that's exactly when people go into debt, right? Something unexpected hits, and there's just nothing there.
Nothing there. And that leads us to the third account, your investment account. This is money you're putting to work for your future. Stocks, index funds, whatever makes sense for you.
But a lot of people skip straight to investing without having savings first, right?
All the time. And the problem is, when your day-to-day is unstable and you've got money in the market, any dip feels catastrophic.
Right, you panic.
Exactly. Emotional decisions. But when your savings account is solid, you think clearly. You invest with patience.
So the safety net isn't just financial. It protects how you make decisions too.
Completely. Patient investors almost always come out ahead. Okay, one more thing, because even people who get all of this still struggle sometimes. And it comes down to one word: automation.
Meaning?
Set it up so you never have to decide. Most banks let you schedule automatic transfers. The moment your salary lands, a fixed amount moves to savings, another to investments. You never even see it.
So it's like it was never there to begin with.
Exactly. You take willpower completely out of the equation. And look, willpower is unreliable, especially after a long week when you just want to treat yourself. Automation is discipline that doesn't need discipline.
Okay, that actually explains a lot. I've just been relying on willpower this whole time and wondering why it keeps failing.
You're not alone. Willpower is a limited resource. The smartest move is designing your system so the right thing happens automatically.
Okay, what about someone who's listening right now and genuinely feels like they have nothing left to save? Like, income is just covering the basics.
That's a real situation, and I want to be honest. For some people, step 1 isn't saving, it's finding the gap. And that means actually looking at where the money is going.
How do you do that without it getting overwhelming?
Track it for 1 month. Not estimating, actually look at your statements. Most people are genuinely surprised. Subscriptions they forgot about. Takeout that adds up to hundreds. Small things that seem harmless, but they're not.
The latte factor kind of thing?
Sort of, though I'd say it's less about the coffee and more about patterns of unconscious spending. That can quietly drain hundreds every month. Awareness is the first step.
And once you find even a small gap, that's where it starts.
Even $20 a month. You put it aside, you watch it grow, and something shifts. Because now you're someone who saves. And that identity? That matters.
I love that. It's not just the money, it's who you're becoming.
Saving is a form of self-respect. You're saying, my future matters. And once that becomes part of how you see yourself, it gets easier to maintain.
So, to bring it together, what would you say to someone who wants to start but doesn't know where to begin?
Don't wait until you feel ready. Open a separate savings account if you don't have one. Set up an automatic transfer, even a small one. Look at your spending this month and find one thing to trim. That's it.
Small steps, Consistent over time.
That's the whole game. Not dramatic overhauls. Not getting rich overnight. Small, smart decisions. Repeated consistently. Building something real.
And honestly, having the system in place just removes so much mental noise. You're not constantly asking, "Can I afford this?" The system answers for you.
Clarity creates calm. That's it.
I genuinely need to go reorganize my accounts after this.
Haha, do it! And when you do, come tell us about it. Because we want to hear from you. Yes, everyone has a different relationship with saving, different challenges, different things that clicked. So leave a comment this week and tell us, what's your most effective saving tip?
Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear right now. Someone's sitting there feeling stuck, and your one tip could be what gets them started.
So don't hold back, share it. This community grows when we learn from each other.
To everyone listening, wherever you are in your journey, whether you've got zero saved or you're already building, we hope today gave you something useful.
You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin.
That's a wrap for today's episode. If this helped you, share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe so you never miss an episode, and drop your best saving tip in the comments. We read every single one.
Take care, everyone. Bye!